Today we are going to read the 19th of October newspaper. Right, to start with, this was the first page of the newspaper that we have seen here. It's about Pramod Mahajan Gramin Kaushalya Vikas Kendra that is about to set up in the Maharashtra, right? So these type of articles that you will be, seeing in the newspaper on a daily basis, this is not very much relevant to you if you're not preparing for any state specific. Right, so let's move to the next page. So again, we have advertisement of Plutus IAS. Those who are looking forward to any kind of preparation, please do refer to these institutions in case if you're looking for any kind of guidance and knowledge. Right, so this is not relevant to us. Let's move to the next page. So the first page is a highlight which mentioned that Israel and Hamas trade blame over hospital blast. So we all are aware about, what is going on in the world right now. It's about Israel and Hamas. As I mentioned to you yesterday also, so you all knew about Jews, right? Which was there at the time of Nazi, right? Hitler, who killed a lot of many of the Jews at that point of time, right? So what happened? There was one Jew family, and out of one Jew family, Jesus Christ was born in that Jew family, right? And Jesus Christ started Christianity, right? So this is the way how Jews and Christianity started. And we all know why, so those who killed Jesus Christ were none other than Jews only, right? Now, what is happening in this Israel and Hamas? So there are three religions. First is Jews, second is the Christians, and third is the Muslims. These all three religions are fighting together for one particular place, right? And this is not like, a recent one. This is a very, very old fight which is going on. This time it has, aggravated a lot. Matlab now this is getting very, very dirty. These guys are fighting very, very hard with each other. They're killing a lot of people. You're seeing a lot of news in the newspaper, Instagram, Facebook, whatever the social channel you open, you see these type of newspaper now. People are crying and Hamas से बॉम्ब फेंका जा रहा है and Israel बॉम्ब फेंक रहा है हमास के ऊपर. Recently Israel ने हमास का सारा सप्लाई बंद कर दिया with regards to food, electricity, water, everything, जिसकी वजह से जो हमास में लोग रह रहे हैं they are already troubling a lot. मतलब वो बहुत परेशान हो रहे हैं, right? So this is one of the news which is going on. So this is the gist of the summary which I gave you. Now हमास के अंदर जो there are multiple of terrorists are there at this point of time. So Hamas is nothing. Gaza strip जो है, अगर आप इसराइल का मैप देखोगे, so on the edge there is a Gaza strip, राइट? उस गाजा स्ट्रिप के अंदर जो एक टेररिस्ट का ग्रुप है दैट इज नोन एज हमास. ये अपने आप को हमास बोलते हैं, जिनके बीच में और इसराइल के बीच में बेसिकली इस समय ज़मीन को लेकर फाइट हो रहा है, राइट? The next news is government clears bonanza of 15,000 crore for staff. Okay, so if I go with the gist is कि panel hike MSP for Rabi crop. What is MSP, guys? MSP is minimum support price. Minimum support price क्या होता है? This is what कि फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मान लीजिए आप एक फार्मर है, राइट, और आपका जो प्रोडक्ट है उसकी लागत है 200 रुपये, लेकिन मार्केट में आपको मिल रहा है 150 रुपीज़, राइट? तो आपका 50 रुपये का नुकसान हो रहा है. तो सरकार क्या करती है? सरकार आपसे वो प्रोडक्ट जो है 200 रुपये या 210 रुपये में खरीद लेती है, ताकि आपकी जो मिनिमम जो आपका लागत है, जो आपका प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट है, वो आपका बचा रहे. फॉर राबी क्रॉप्स क्या होते हैं? दीज आर नोन एज द विंटर क्रॉप्स, जो कि सर्दियों में जो क्रॉप्स होती है, जैसे कि वीट हो गया, ओट, पीज, टोमेटो, पटैटो, बीट, कैबेज, गार्लिक, ऑनियन, कोरिएंडर, फेनल, सनफ्लावर, दीज ऑल आर राबी क्रॉप्स. अब जैसे जैसे ठंड आ रही है, इसको इसकी मतलब फार्मर्स को सेफ गार्ड करने के लिए ये सरकार का एक स्टेप है, right? This is the second news. Let's move to the next page. So the next page says कि South Korean national can't enroll as advocate here, BCI. So what is the full form of BCI? That is Bar Council of India. Bar Council of India कहता है कि कोई भी साउथ कोरियन नेशनल या कोई भी फॉरेन नेशनल जो है वो एडवोकेट नहीं बन सकता इंडिया में. दिस इज़ वेरी वेरी राइट, क्योंकि अगर ऐसा हो गया तो दे विल ओपन द फ्लड गेट्स, बिकॉज फिर people from Pakistan, Nepal, everybody, Bhutan will come and practice in India. This is going to be very, very, challenging for the Indian national, right? हमारे खुद के जो बच्चे हैं जो आज की डेट में LLM LLB कर रहे हैं, उनके लिए बहुत दिक्कत हो जाएगी, कंपटीशन बहुत बढ़ जाएगा, राइट? और जॉब्स कम है, ऑलरेडी उनके लिए जो चैलेंज है वो बढ़ जाएगा. And the next news says four convicted of Soumya Vishwanathan murder. So yeah, Soumya Vishwanathan was a journalist actually. अगर हम आपको टाइमलाइन बताएं तो what happened in 2008, she was shot dead while returning from home, from work to home. एंड 2009 में 5 लोगों को अरेस्ट किया गया था. जून 25 2009 में चार्जशीट फाइल की गई थी. 2011 में महाराष्ट्र कंट्रोल ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइज्ड क्राइम एक्ट ने फ्रेम किया था उन चार्जेस को. 2010 में ट्रायल बिगन हुआ था. 2023 में ये 5 कन्विक्टेड हैं जिन्हें की पकड़ा गया है फॉर रिसीविंग द स्टोलन प्रॉपर्टी. Next news says nothing can bring our back our daughter, which is absolutely true, right? Not, and then, okay, this is a quick important newspaper. Puri launches book on ties between India and UK. So, a book by veteran journalist Ashok Nandan on the India-UK cooperation across fields such as economy, diplomacy, defense, and culture was launched by Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri at Gandhi Smriti here on Wednesday. The reversing. सी होता क्या है कि जो आपके एग्ज़ाम्स होते हैं उसमें ऑब्जेक्टिव टाइप क्वेश्चन आते हैं, राइट? उस पर वो आपको ऑथर का नाम दे देते हैं एक तरफ आपको वो ऑथर का नेम दे देते हैं और दूसरी तरफ वो आपको बुक नेम दे देते हैं टू मैच, राइट? अब इस केस में क्या होगा, यहाँ पर आपको बुक का नेम दे देंगे, दिस इज़ द रिवर्स स्विंग, राइट? एंड सामने आपको कहेंगे कि नाउ यू हैव टू मैच हु रोट दिस बुक. सो हेयर दिस बुक इज़ रेड बाय अशोक टंडन. And this was about the India UK cooperation, right? If you want to refer it to any paper, you can refer to that also. The next page says that it is again an ad by Vision IAS. This is for the people those who are preparing for UPSC, for IAS, IPS, or for PCS. See, essay writing is very very crucial for UPSC, right? आपका first paper prelims होता है, लेकिन आपके बाकी के पेपर सिर्फ essay writing होते हैं. उस पे ये डिटेल एक एडवर्टीजमेंट है जिसमें बताया गया है कि देर आर टू कैटेगरीज ऑफ ऐसे, एक फिलोसफिकल होती है, एक इन्फॉर्मेशन बेस्ड होती है. आजकल जैसे एआई बहुत ज़्यादा ट्रेंड में है, राइट? सो चांसेस आर हाई कि आजकल के जो पेपर है यूपीएससी, पीसीएस, एचसीएस, एनी काइंड ऑफ मेंस और रिटन एग्जाम्स आर जनरली कमिंग on these two things only, right? So this is not relevant to our exam. If you want, you can read it. And next page says Congress second list for Chhattisgarh out, 10 sitting MLAs dropped, not relevant for your exam. Amid discount, Nadda meets BJP office bearers in Kota to identify candidates, again not relevant to our exam. Mohammad Ekhoni elected CEC of Kargil Hill. Okay, not relevant. All set for launch. Okay, this is very important news that came yesterday. So all set for launch. Rapid X जो है, okay, Rapid X जो है between Delhi and Meerut जो है, it's about to start and इसका inauguration जो है PMG ने Friday को किया है, right? So this is good. So see, I again tell you everybody कि यार आप लोग न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ो, right? लेकिन हर न्यूज़ को डिटेल में मत पढ़ो. आपको सब न्यूज़ का टाइटल ज़रूर पढ़ना है, राइट? बिकॉज यू नेवर नो कि कौन सा न्यूज़ कहाँ पर आपका इस्तेमाल हो रहा है. सो फॉर एग्जांपल, यहाँ पे हमें पता है कि कांग्रेस की सेकंड लिस्ट आ गई है, राइट? छत्तीसगढ़ की, जिसमें से 10 एमएलए ड्रॉप हो गए हैं, राइट? ये आपके एग्जाम से रिलेवेंट है ही नहीं, क्योंकि पेपर में ये पूछते ही नहीं, राइट? पेपर में ये पूछ सकते हैं कि हाँ, रैपिड एक्स जो लॉन्च हुआ है वो कौन से कहाँ तक है, कितना किलोमीटर है, एंड दिस कैन बी देयर, या क्या टेक्नोलॉजी उसमें यूज़ हुई है, ये आपसे वो पूछ सकते हैं. सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इसमें RFTS का इस्तेमाल है, दैट इज़ रीजनल रैपिड ट्रांजिट सिस्टम का इस्तेमाल किया गया है. सो दिस दे कैन आस्क नथिंग अपार्ट फ्रॉम इट. यू हैव टू थिंक फ्रॉम अ इंटरव्यूअर और द वन हु सेटिंग द पेपर. उसके पर्सपेक्टिव से आपको सोचना है कि क्या ये न्यूज़ मेरे लिए कितने इफेक्टिव है. For example, now the next news says KCR says Congress will end key schemes if voted to power. So this is not relevant again to our exam, right? मतलब कोई आपसे पेपर में नहीं पूछेगा what is the full form of KCR and how it is relevant to Congress, right? Because this is not critical. This is not related or affecting our economy in a financial way, right? Next is will implement all poll promises in Telangana. Again, this is regarding to Rahul, not relevant to the exam. This is not going to come in your newspaper in your exam. Then first Ludhiana gas leak report not convincing, NGT forms a new panel, right? So what is NGT? This is important. You should know what is NGT, National Green Tribunal. ये क्यों form होता है? This is a independent committee. ये किस regarding form होती है? They are basically to check the issues, to inquire जो कोई इंसिडेंट अगर हैपन हुए हैं पास्ट में, तो उसको उसके क्या रिपोर्ट रहा, ये एनजीटी जो है वो रिपोर्ट प्रिपेयर करता है। जनरली ये अगेन आपके मेंस में आता है कि एनजीटी क्या है, इसके क्या फंक्शंस हैं, हाउ दिस इज हेल्पिंग, और सो दिस कैन बी दिस पर्टिकुलर segment can be important for you. So in case if you want, you can read about this. Next is so let's move to the next page. Okay, this is very, very important. I always say to you guys, the editorial is very, very, very important because it improves your English, right? So let's take one of the editorial which says food and fuel prices may yet play spoil sport in the inflation battle. We all know inflation really really affects all of us. अगर इन्फ्लेशन रेट बढ़ता है या कम होता है तो उससे हमारा परचेजिंग पावर भी बढ़ता है या कम होता है, राइट? नाउ so this says inflation faced by consumer eased to 5% in September, bringing some relief after a sharply rally in prices that began with July 15 month high inflation rate of 7.44%. Okay, so one point here, generally जो हमारे स्टेट या हमारे जो सेंट्रल पेपर्स होते हैं उसमें समटाइम्स दे डू आस्क अबाउट द इन्फ्लेशन रेट ऑफ अ पर्टिकुलर मंथ। सी, आप आपको इस केस में रट्टा ही मारना पड़ेगा, देर इज नो वे टू लॉजिकली गो फॉर इट, राइट? Now, this not only marks a return to 2% to 6% tolerance range of Reserve Bank of India, but also matches the bank upgraded estimate of 6.4% average inflation between July and September. Of course, the preferred inflation rate remains 4%, and the RBI will remain resolutely focused or durably attaining that. By its own reckoning, the target appears distant. This quarter is expected to average 5.6% inflation, followed by 5.2% between January and June 2024. Even these expectations may need to be tempered while the RBI has projected an average inflation of 5.4% in 23-24. The International Monetary Fund. Okay, this is important. What is IMF? What is World Bank? So these questions generally do come. You should know their functions, right? कि IMF का function क्या है, World Bank क्या होता है, how it regulates money, how it related to Indian economy. वर्ल्ड बैंक में अगर कोई इम्पैक्ट पड़ता है उसका इंडियन इकोनॉमी पे कैसे इम्पैक्ट पड़ेगा, दिस यू शुड नो, दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, राइट? दिस इज जस्ट फॉर योर बेसिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑल्सो, राइट? Now, raised their estimate this month to 5.5 to 5.9% respectively. So September's 5% inflation, which was partly aided by a base effect from 22 when the inflation base 7.4 and partly by a sharp dip in the volatile prices of tomatoes and vegetables. See, so this really really makes sense ki why the tomatoes are getting expensive. So if you remember last year, onions were very expensive. Why? There is a reason behind it. Everything is linked in Indian economy, right? Not in Indian economy, in every economy, right? So for example, अगर बरसात ज़्यादा हो जाती है तो फसल बर्बाद हो जाती है, जिसकी वजह से सप्लाई कम होता है। जब सप्लाई कम होता है और डिमांड ज़्यादा होती है तो डेफिनेटली प्राइजेस जो है ज़्यादा हो जाते हैं, एंड वाइस वर्सा। अगर आपकी डिमांड ज़्यादा है, डिमांड कम है और सप्लाई ज़्यादा है, तो डेफिनेटली वो प्रोडक्ट आपका चीपर हो जाता है। This is a very very basic economics that we all should understand, right? And this is how it is related to the inflation, right? So this is about this article, guys. The next is the explosion of digital uncertainty. This is very 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 important, guys. See, we all are now, have seen artificial intelligence. We all know about chat gpt and how artificial intelligence is going on, right? So any of you can tell me what is the name of that news channel where they have a artificial intelligence reporter in place to read the news? Yes, it is there in the South India. There is a news channel. They have an artificial intelligence reporter in place who is reading the newspaper, and that is a she. The gender of that reporter is she. That is there. So that is the first artificial intelligence reporter that is there in that particular news channel. Right. So as you can see, ki now, artificial intelligence has improved this much ki you cannot recognize between a original and a, an artificial intelligence person, right? So this is a kind of explosion. This is a kind of, plus, and at the same time, this is a negative for us, right? So this article is about that we should read about it. This is good for your basic knowledge. Next article says, this editorial says that the ferry between Tamil Nadu, North India, North Sri Lanka holds much potential. Okay, so what is a ferry? Ferry is something that travels from one place to another place in the water, right? It can carry multiple cars at that point of time, one point of time. So for example, एक ferry जो होती है इतना बड़ा होता है कि उसमें आप 10 cars जो है कैरी कर सकते हो एक जगह से दूसरी जगह. तो यहाँ पे दिस इज अबाउट अ सी सर्विस विच इज हैपनिंग बिटवीन तमिलनाडु एंड श्रीलंका. सो तमिलनाडु से श्रीलंका is very near, like you can travel by a ferry. So this is about that, ki how that particular ferry is affecting, once, so once a boat or a ferry travels between two islands, right, from one port of Tamil Nadu to Sri Lanka, so definitely they can carry goods, people, and उससे travel tourism पे भी बहुत impact आता है, right. वहाँ पे प्रोडक्ट्स की अवेलेबिलिटी बढ़ जाती है. तो दिस इज अबाउट दिस एडिटोरियल इज ओनली अबाउट दैट पार्ट. Next is the BRI. Okay, this is very, very important. So BRI is nothing, it is about the Belt Road Initiative. Okay, so One Belt, One Road Initiative was very, very popular. This was started by China in 2013, and they plan to invest in more than 150 countries and international organizations. So the main motive of One Belt and One Road Initiative is to connect all the countries and to supply their products. राइट. सो व्हाट दे आर ट्राइंग टू डू, मतलब अगर मैं बहुत लेमन टर्म में आपको बताऊं कि वो चाहते हैं उनका जो चाइनीज़ प्रोडक्ट है, उनका जो गुड्स एंड जो उनके गुड्स हैं वो पूरे विश्व में फैल जाए. उसको इन्वेस्ट करने के लिए उन्होंने बनाया है वन बेल्ट वन रोड इनिशिएटिव. वन बेल्ट वन रोड इनिशिएटिव. अब इस इनिशिएटिव में क्या है, ये जो अगर आप इसका मैप देखेंगे, मतलब इस बेल्ट का देखेंगे, तो दिस इज स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम चाइना and this is going down here and touching Sri Lanka and then going here, and then it is touching all the key points and then it's coming back to China. So they have this kind of road in place. It can be in the form of port also. आपका शिप हो सकता है, लाइक देर आर मल्टीपल थिंग्स. मतलब कनेक्टिविटी का जो जो उन्हें मोड मिल रहा है वो मतलब कैप्चर कर रहे हैं और एक तरह से पूरे पूरे वर्ल्ड को वो कंट्रोल कर रहे हैं, जहाँ पे वो अपना प्रोडक्ट जो है यहाँ से सप्लाई करना शुरू करेंगे एंड दिल पुट इट फॉरवर्ड टू द एंटायर वर्ल्ड, क्योंकि उनका प्रोडक्ट ऑलरेडी बहुत सस्ता है, राइट. सो दिस इज द वे दे आर गोइंग टू इंक्रीज देयर सप्लाई इन द वर्ल्ड. सो दिस इज व्हाट द वन बेल्ट एंड वन रोड इनिशिएटिव इज ऑल अबाउट. ओके, वन बेल्ट एंड वन रोड इनिशिएटिव को एनकाउंटर करने के लिए इंडिया ने क्या बनाया है? We have a string of pearl theory. If you read about it, so we have a string of pearl theory. String of pearl theory is there. ठीक है. If any of you have any idea about it, do mention that. In case if you want me to take another session on that, I'll be happy to take that. Right. So this is on this. Next is the measure of the working woman. Okay, this is pretty much what this opinion says about. Women's unpaid work is responsible for 7.5% of the GDP. In other words, not only do women shoulder the burden of the domestic work, but they also boost the GDP in the process. So this is only targeting the women sector, the working women of the economy, right? So let's read a bit about it. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a parent working outside the home must have someone to take care of their child. In India, family structures have historically often filled this need, with fathers working outside the home and mothers providing child care and elder care. However, this model is not conducive to India's growing ambition. If the country is to grow into $5 trillion economy, women must be included. There are two specific ways to get here. Women work, often care work, must be appropriately valued, and women must be adequately supported to participate in economic activity outside the home. All women work, but not all of them get paid. For example, economist Claudia Golden 2023 Nobel Prize winning work demonstrates this across American history. India's first national time use survey released in 2020 by the National Statistical Office finds that 81.2% of all the women are engaged in unpaid domestic services. What does that mean? कि women do work, but that is not counted in GDP. So for example, अगर एक woman है, वो खाना बना रही है, वो झाड़ू पोछा कर रही है, वो कपड़े प्रेस कर रही है, कपड़े धो रही है, तो वो काम तो कर रही है, लेकिन क्या वो जीडीपी में इंक्लूड हो रहा है? नो, राइट. So this is about that. So as per that survey in 2020, जो 2020 में हुआ है, 81.2% of all the women are engaged in unpaid domestic services, compared with 26.1% of the men. It finds that men spend 42 hours on an average on activities within the production boundary, what is traditionally counted as economic activity, whereas women spend 19 hours. So see, you're comparing 42 hours in compared to 19 hours. However, women spend 10 times more on household maintenance and care of children, the sick, and the elderly, which is 34.6 hours versus 3.6 hours. Okay, this is as per this survey. There are two implications for this. Working women face the dreaded double burden, whereas the working outside the home and the contributing to family income does not come with the commensurate reduction in household responsibility. See, so it says कि आपको घर का काम तो करना ही होता है, at the same time you have to do the office work also. आपके काम ऑफिस के काम की वजह से आपका घर का जो काम है वो कम नहीं होता है, and and the care work that they do spend time on is not counted in the larger economic estimates, leaving us with exhausted women with a lower leisure hours in a week than the male counterpart. Definitely, if they are doing a job at the same time they're doing household, so definitely that's going to use more hours of them. We all got 24 hours, yeah, right? If everybody is spending 9 hours in the job, and what we are left with, women is spending a lot of time in your cooking, in washing, taking care of the child, taking care of the elderly, So everybody is having those 24 hours only, right? Every individual is having 24 hours. It's about how they are investing time into. So if a male is, giving 9 hours to the GDP, the woman is only also giving 9 hours to the GDP. But what about the rest of the work that she is doing? That is not counted. So this article is about that only, right? The next article says the furor over Karnataka IT searches. Okay, what is the meaning of furor, guys? So it means an outbreak of public anger, right? See, this is the plus point when you when you read a newspaper now, you get to learn a lot of word, right? And I would request everybody, those who want to improve their English, should read newspaper regularly. Why? Because ऐसा नहीं है कि इट विल बी टाइम वेस्ट, नो, आप बेशक 20 मिनट्स न्यूज़पेपर को देते हो, लेकिन आप डेली 5 मिनट्स 5 न्यू वर्ड्स जो है आप लर्न करते हो। एट द सेम टाइम आपको अवेयरनेस रहती है कि आपके आसपास क्या चल रहा है, ताकि आप चार लोगों के बीच में जब आप बात करो तो यू कैन ऑल्सो गिव योर इनपुट्स। एट द सेम टाइम आपकी इंग्लिश इंप्रूव होती है, राइट? So these all are the advantage of spending good 20 minutes. अगर आप 20 मिनट्स में भी बस न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ते हो तो दिस इज अ गुड काइंड ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट. Why to go to English learning school, or why to go for institutions? Spend good time in the newspaper. Open Google. Everybody is having Google nowadays. Google and search the meaning of that particular word, right? Okay, the next article says the underdog days out in World Cup. Okay, not relevant for our exam. The next is text and context. Okay, this is just a new part. This is just to read. If you want to, you can do about that. So people who signed up for organ donation on Noto website. Okay, what is Noto? So this can be there in your exam. What is the full form of Noto? Noto is National Organ and Tissue Transplant Organization. Expected revenue drop in the diamond polishing industry, not relevant. Advocates recommended as High Court judge by collegian. Phone pay revenue increased, not relevant for exam. The amount needed to assist earthquake hit Afghanistan. Again, not important for exam point of view. The next is the original referendum in Australia. So, अगर ऐसा आपके पास बड़ा आर्टिकल आता है और आपके पास टाइम नहीं है, तो we can directly go to the gist point. It will give you the summary of the article, right? So what does it say? It says Australians were asked to vote on whether to establish an Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander voice to Parliament. The voice was proposed as a means of recognizing Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island peoples are the first of Australia in the constitution. Voting is compulsory in Australia. Every eligible Australian citizen over 18 years of age is obliged to vote in election and referendums. It is very difficult to achieve constitutional change in Australia since Federation in 1905. 45 questions have been put to Australian voters in referendums. Only 8 of those have succeeded. So this is about, if you want to read, you can read about it, not so relevant. Next is about the text and context again. Nordic writers keep alive a troubled, brilliant hacker created by Stieg Larsson. Right. If you want to read about it, you can do that, but it's not so much relevant for from your exam point of view. If you want to, you can definitely read on the same. So this is about Elizabeth Salander is back in Karen Smurf, the girl in the edge dollars, a land down Scandinavian fiction, including books of Henning, featuring Inspector Kurt Wallander, who brought the crime fiction genre in the mainstream. If you want, you can read, but not relevant to an exam point of view. So this is about Know Your English, again, not so relevant. Then this is the advancement of artificial intelligence has taken the world by storm. Here is a quiz on modern forms of technology and their impact. Okay, so this you can read if you want to improve. Okay, there is a one very beautiful column at the edges. Word of the day. This is again very important. So, for example, Enodine. What is the meaning of Enodine? A medicine used to relieve pain, capable of relieving pain. Okay, the synonyms is painkiller. ओके सो फॉर एग्जांपल अगर आपका कोई पेपर है अगर आपको किसी पेन किलर के बारे में लिखना है तो इंस्टेड ऑफ पेन किलर यू कैन यूज द वर्ड इनोडिन right? So this is a very very beautiful thing when you use a synonym. It looks very nice and it brings your essay to the next level and वो मजबूर कर देता है जो पेपर आपका चेक कर रहे हैं to give you good numbers, right? So this is good. Let's move to the next page. It's about okay, so the first is Israel and Hamas trade blame over blast. Okay, government clears bonanza of 1,500 crore for of staff. Left-wing extremists are against India's development. Okay, so see, extremist and rightist. Okay, there are left wing and there is a right wing. There are two wings, right? So जो left wing है, उनको हम extremist कहते हैं. जो right wing है, उन्हें हम क्या कहते हैं? They are not the extremists. They are the they are the general people. They are not extremists. They are like go through their approach. Modi expresses shock over explosion at hospital in Gaza. He says civilian casualties in the ongoing conflict are a matter of serious and continuing concern. Those involved should be held responsible. Next is internet services to be restored soon in Manipur, says Biren. Right. Next is okay. Probe Adani group off for jacking up prices of coal import. Rahul. Okay, not relevant for your exam. Congress has no faith in either constitution or Supreme Court. This is said by BJP. Again, not relevant for your exam, guys. NewsClick, Supreme Court to hear pleas on the arrest of the founder. So this is about one of the organization, that is NewsClick. Then next come can refer aspect of PMLA verdict to Constitution bench if needs to be. So this is about the remit of the bench is not to reconsider every issue addressed by the three-judge bench. We are going to look if any of the issues require reconsideration. Next is Center notifies appointment of 7 judges across 8 HCs. Okay, then 8 high courts actually. The panel asked BJP MP to present evidence against Moitra. Again, not relevant for your exam point of view. Next comes BJP not in panic in MP. Rajasthan cadres follow party line. Okay, this is about Rajnath Kovind, an interview with Rajnath Singh. Next is Congress defies Diktat field women with non-tribal spouse. Okay, 3 defectors from MNF among BJP's Mizoram candidates. Okay, Congress top brass deliberates Rajasthan first list. Rest is it's just the articles. Oh, sorry, just the tenders. Next is President launched fourth Krishi roadmap of Bihar. So this is important. This you should read about. President, who's President of India, that's Draupadi Murmu, on Wednesday launched the fourth Krishi roadmap of Bihar with an estimate of 1.62 lakh crore. The roadmap, the fourth of its kind, focuses on the storage, processing, and expansion of the seed and irrigation, along with the crop diversification and improved agriculture marketing. Right. Next is ex-Jharkhand CM Raghubar Das is Odisha's new governor. Okay, this you should know about. Gujarat government hikes salaries of fixed pay employees. Okay. IIT Kharagpur student found dead inside hostel room. Not relevant for your exam. India likely to sign deal with US for 31 MQ-9B drones by February 2024. So India ने पहले भी US के साथ एक deal sign करी थी to buy the drones, right? So this is a one more deal that they are going to sign again. Ayodhya Ram Temple Trust received FCRA license to accept foreign donations. So what is FCRA? FCRA is Foreign Contribution Regulation Act, right? It gives a license to the Ayodhya Ram Temple to accept the donations, right? So as per this, the trust has already collected 3,500 crore in donation given by people across India. Okay, this is a Ram temple actually, which is built after the Supreme Court जो है Supreme Court ने judgment दिया था 2019 में, which maintained that the Muslim community was wrongfully deprived of 450-year-old Babri Masjid demolished in 1992, but rejected its claim for exclusive title and possession of the land in Ayodhya. The temple will thus be situated on 67.3 acres of land, accorded to the trust in the judgment. Okay, this is not relevant to your exam, but you should know about it. Next is okay, what this is all about. This is about Sarma attacks lone Muslim minister in Chhattisgarh. Not relevant again. Next is India will explore building large languages models. Okay, models. High-powered committee will study the development for Indian languages. Large amount of private and foreign capital government fund needed for deep tech, says Amitabh Kant. Okay, G20 Sharpa Amitabh Kant and principal scientific advisor Ajay stood an event on Wednesday. Okay. Next is Committee on Marriage Bill gets another extension. So what does it say? It says the Parliament committee examining a bill which seeks to increase the age of the marriage of women from 18 to 21 has been granted a fresh 3 months extension on a table its report. The prohibition of child marriage, which is 2021, was introduced in Lok Sabha in December 21, was referred to the Standing Committee on Education, Women, Children, Youth and Sports. The panel has received multiple extensions since its beginning its deliberation. The last meeting that the panel held on the bill was on May 17, 2022. The 31 member committee has only 3 women MP. They're talking about extending the age of the women, but they have only 3 female in their team. Okay. Next is Sudoku, guys. Okay, this is interesting in case if you feel like, whenever you're free, you should, go through Sudoku. This is an interesting game. Next is Bhagavatam tells Dharma. Okay, so this is, regarding to devotion. In case if anybody would like to read, they can do that. Okay, next is, it's the world news. Okay, what does it say? It says the situation in Gaza Strip spiraling out of control, says WHO chief. Okay. Next is world conflict strengthened ties with China, says Russia's Putin. Musk X is what? It's Twitter, right? Starts charging new users for basic features in 2 countries. What is the name of the 2 countries? That is New Zealand and Philippines. Uh, Bolsonaro should face charges for coup attempt congressional panel. Okay. Next is Israel to allow aid to move into Gaza from Egypt. Biden. Europe condemns death of hundreds of civilians in an attack on Gaza hospital. Okay. XI vows open market for Belt and Road project. Chinese President Xi Jinping promised foreign companies greater access to China's huge market and more than $100 billion in new financing for developing economies. Okay, not relevant. Escalating tensions in Gaza come under sharp focus in civil war scared Sri Lanka. Again, not relevant. Okay, this is about a notification, not relevant to you. Let's move to the next page. It's about the business. We can read the headlines, right? Quickly, let's close the headlines on this. This says India extend curbs on sugar export to calm local prices. Apollo allies with the SAIL, that's Steel Authority of India, to open hospital in Rourkela. LTTS share falls 6%, not relevant. Hydrogen gear market in India to touch $50 billion by soon 30. Wipro Q2 net flight on macro slowdown. Welspun one Murugappa sign pact for EV facility. Okay. US FDA advertises action at Bitcoin. Malaysian arms not relevant. Okay, this is about the new the business. Now next comes the sports page. Okay. Okay, so this is difficult to miss someone like Surya Kumar, says Bhambre. Okay, India meet Bangladesh in ODI and home after 25 years. Don't know if we are missing Tamin coach Haduru Singha. Next is Gill will be itching to have to go to Bangladesh attack. Oh, again, not relevant. India can't afford to relax against Bangladesh. This is said by Sunil Gavaskar. Scary the way India's playing, right? Okay. Again, this is about the sports. Kiwis continue to soar since sloppy Afghanistan tumbling down to earth. We couldn't put pressure on the Kiwis for long. Trot. Okay, this is about the sport news. If any one of you is interested, they can read about it. This is not relevant to the exam. They sometimes do come your exam, specifically in the state level exam if you're preparing for, right? With statement win over South Africa, that show they are here to stay. Okay, this is about science. This you should try to read, whether this is specifically for the kids, those who are, would like to learn about the new technology which is going around, right? So this is how quantum algorithms solve problem that classical computers can't. A quantum algorithm is a series of instructions that use quantum gates to manipulate data. Some problems may need fewer steps on the part of a quantum algorithm than the steps required by classical algorithm, enabling quantum computers to solve the problem faster than the classical devices. Okay, so this is something about algorithm. In case if you would like to, uh, so you can read about it. Okay, the next is the science quiz. Okay, this is about a science quiz. In case if you want, you can read about this also. Scientists turn an AI ear to the wild. What does this say? This says an AI assisted program was able to pick out bird calls. This is very, very interesting. You should read about it. So a reedy pipe and a high-pitched trill duet against the backdrop of a low-pitched insect drone. The symphony is the sound of a forest and is monitored by scientists to gauge biodiversity. So they see this is how our science is going. This is how our AI is, improving day by day. Okay, so this is it, guys. Thank you so much for your time. And do share your feedback, comments, any kind of suggestions that you want me to improve. We'll definitely do that. Thank you.